Hi, my name is Bobby. Welcome to the third introductory video to the Lightweight Web Framework for Kix, or in short LWW, which is a product by Y-Innovate. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate one of the ways that LWW can give control to a COBOL module, which can then be used to add dynamic content to your web pages. LWW leans heavily on the Kix document API, so if you're not yet familiar with the document API, I suggest you read up before continuing this video, as it will otherwise be difficult to understand. To demonstrate, I've taken the page I created in the previous two videos and turned it into a small smartphone app, which looks like this. I've made the browser a lot smaller to mimic the smaller screen size of the average smartphone, the app sizes to accommodate for different screen sizes. I've added a navigational menu that expands and collapses when I click on it, and it contains a few links to other pages in this new app. And the focus of this video will be the page called Kix Info, which currently looks like this. And the page is meant to display a number of properties of the Kix system that is used to host this app. The idea is that it contains a table with a number of rows and two columns to display name-value pairs. The actual values are not yet in place, and the idea is that the page gives control to a COBOL module that supplies those values. Now let me first switch to Eclipse to show you some of the changes I made in code. So there's still an index.html, there's still a default header, a default footer. I've added jQuery. jQuery is an open source JavaScript library which facilitates dynamic stuff at the client end, so dynamic changes in your pages in the browser. And this is mainly used for the navigation menu, so opening and closing the menu I do with jQuery. Again, the focus of this video is the new page called Kix Info, which in source looks like this. And if I put the actual app alongside, you can see this is the actual HTML table, which is built up of a number of rows, and each row contains a name-value pair. Now, I'm first going to put the COBOL module in place and show you the end result, after which I'm going to explain how it all works. So bear with me. I'm going to go to the Properties tab of this file, which contains a number of properties. The one of interest right now is the so-called pre-execute module. I've already created a COBOL program that I've called Kix Info. So I'm going to put that name as the pre-execute module and save my page. I'm going to go back to the app, refresh the page, and you can see some actual values being inserted. Now the way this type of interaction works is by document symbol substitution. You may have already recognized the Kix type of syntax to supply symbols, which is ampersand symbol name semicolon. So I've provided 5 symbols: Apple ID, SysID, Kix transaction server level, DB2 connection, default user, which are a random number of properties of the Kix system. And I need to explain the sequence of events that happen whenever LWW hosts a file. Again, it leans heavily on the document API, and what in fact happens is that when the file Kix Info is requested, LWW gets control, and the first thing it does, it creates an empty Kix document. Now the way that Kix document symbol substitution works is that you first supply Kix with whatever substitution that you require. So you first have to tell it what you want to have inserted every time Kix encounters the variable called Apple ID. After that, you can start inserting text into your Kix document, And while inserting, Kix will do the name value substitution. So that's the reason why the property is called the pre-execute module, because it gets control before LWW starts inserting this text into the document. So LWW will have already created an empty Kix document, but before actually adding the content, it'll pass control to this module. Now let me switch to a terminal emulator and turn on debugging in this Kix region, so that we can capture the actual COBOL programming and walk through it as it is invoked. So I've turned on the debugger. Let me just refresh the page. You can see that the browser is still waiting for its reply, and in the background you've seen the debugger appear. This doesn't look quite very useful, so I'm going to change the screen layout and the screen size so that we can see the complete source. This is the COBOL program. So again, LWW will have been notified it has to perform this page. It will have created an empty Kix document, but before inserting the static text, it has given control to Kixinfo. Now if I start stepping through this program, the first thing the program does is receive a parameter area that every COBOL program is passed by LWW when it's invoked as part of a web application. And one of the things that are passed along with this parameter is the document token of the document that LWW created. So after this command, I will have a document token that I can use to do variable substitution. This is the part where I request Kix for a number of properties, so Apple ID, SysID, TS level, db2con, default user. Let me switch to cursor scrolling so I can scroll down a little bit. That's a bit too much. There we go. So next thing the COBOL program does is create a so-called symbol list, which is just a text string built up with name equals value, ampersand, name equals value, etc. So after this string statement, I will have a symbol list. And next thing the program does is it tells Kix via document set API command to use this symbol list for symbol substitution. After which it can give control back to LWW. I can show you in the background the browser is still waiting for its reply, but as soon as I hit Kix return, the browser gets its reply. Okay, that's it for this demo. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.